So I was at the putting green warming my putt up in case of a playoff, and had a couple Discmania boys just raise their hands and come running at me, and I was like, I guess I won.
Hey guys, Johnny Disc Golf here at the 2020 Waco Annual Charity Open with coverage presented by OTB. And I am standing next to the champion himself, Mr. Colton Montgomery. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Still a little shocked.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a couple hours. It's kind of sunken in, kind of not. You know, it's been a weird couple days, but nonetheless, very happy with how today went.
Yeah, I mean, hard not to be happy. You did what not a lot of people have done. They bested Paul McBeth and a full field. It was not a small field. The full field of competitors. Were you expecting this last night?
No, not even this morning. You know, Kona and I got the news about, you know, part of the tour getting suspended, and that obviously brought a lot of range of emotions. Just like, you know, seen a lot of people mention how this virus has affected their work and livelihoods, and, you know, never really thought that like the disc golf community would be impacted like it is. And, you know, in the matter of a couple days, our jobs, careers have kind of came to a screeching halt. So I made a post this morning saying I was going to leave it all out there, enjoy my card mates, and just, you know, have a good round. And, you know, I had a lot of people message me, say, you know, like, go win it, you know, like final round,
Yeah.
just leave it all out there. And I was like, obviously a chance, you know, but being 4 back of Paul McBeth, you know, it's like, no, I wasn't walking into this round like, oh, I'm going to take Paul down. Like, I just was like, I'm going to throw my best shots possible, and what happens at the end of the day happens. And I had a bogey early, which kind of like set me back, but I got it out of the way early. And then I think down the stretch, I did eagle birdie, and that kind of helped me a lot. Again, I didn't know at any point in the round where I was at. I didn't.
Really?
My phone was on airplane mode from the start.
Intentional?
Yes. Like I said, I made the Instagram post this morning, and I had a lot of people reach out to me, you know, go get it, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I don't really want to deal with that during the final round. So I put my phone on airplane mode. Don't usually do that. And we get to 17 or 18 here, and all 3 of my card mates are looking at the scores. And I'm like, man, like, do I turn my phone on and look at scores? And I'm like, nope, there's 1 hole left. You're not playing against these guys. Just compete against the course. Just attack this 1 hole and see what happens. And I told myself no matter what the conditions were, I was going to go for 18. And I put myself inside the circle, and I walked up and drained the putt, and everyone went crazy. And Jordan Castro was right there like, yo, nice job. Like, you know what you're at? I'm like, nope, haven't looked at all. And he's like, check it out. Like, you're in the lead by 1. And I was like, what? Like, I couldn't even believe it. You know, and then everybody was like, hey, just go warm up your putt, you know, like getting ready for a playoff.
Yes.
And I wanted to watch Paul, you know, but everyone's like, stay away, go putt, go putt. And I'm sitting at their practice basket, you know, pretty nervous, pretty shaky. Not a spot that I have found myself in a lot recently, but, you know, put in the hard work, know that this is the level that I can play at. And, yeah, just feels amazing.
It has to, man. Really, like, congrats, and we'll continue on, but right now, just congrats. I'm feeling for you, man.
Thanks,
when I think of Colton Montgomery, I think Colorado, I think, like, big bomber, playing in the wind, swoop it out wide and play it in. But this course is very technical. There's 9 of the nastiest woods holes we get on tour, and the open holes aren't much easier as far as technicality. What was working for you out there this weekend?
I putted really well. Really well. One of my goals coming into the season was to bump up that Circle 1 putting percentage. So I've spent a lot of time on the green, and I think I missed 1 inside the circle putt all weekend. So that was obviously really clutch. I was throwing the PD really well. That's where I got my eagle on 13 and 15.
Yeah.
Both throwing my Lone Howl signature PD.
As motorcycles are doing wheelies right across from us. The fact that the PD's flying great, your van's the freak. Any coincidence there?
Yeah, you know, when we came up with the name The Freak, you know, the PD was like my go-to driver at the time, and all the other Discmania RVs have had some type of disc name, you know, so I was like, let's go with The Freak. And, you know, I got it for my Signature Series disc last year, and it helped a lot this weekend, so.
Walk me through the back nine, because you were in the mix, but you weren't like smoking hot coming out of hole 9, moving into the last 9 holes of the tournament. But you finished 9 under through 9, 2 eagles, 2 pars. Walk me through that stretch.
Man, so we get to hole 10. I ended up parring it yesterday, and I believe last year I took a pretty big number on 10.
Okay.
And I grabbed the Lone Howell PD and punched it straight down the middle, and I think I outdrove everyone on my card by probably like 50 or 80 feet.
Yeah.
And left me a pretty routine upshot that I unfortunately left long. Made the putt, and then going on to 11, I bogeyed it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty routine.
Yeah, a little short.
Yeah. So I threw a great tee shot, ended up getting the birdie, and then.
You got fans everywhere.
Yeah. And then going into the par 4, hole 12, that's a really tough hole for me. Even if I put myself in what I think is like a great landing zone, it's really hard. That upshot is tough for me. And I gave myself a look at the top of the hill, wasn't able to convert, and then walking to 13, James Conrad and I were talking. He's like, "Do you go for this hole?" And I, telling him in practice I can get there. I'm just trying to punch one down there. Threw my Lone Howell, stood up a little bit. Yeah, PD. Stood up a little bit, put myself like 10 feet outside the circle. Had a tailwind putt, drained it. Was super stoked about that. And then 2 holes later, we get over here to 15, and I grabbed the Lone Howell again, and I put it inside the circle. Give myself like a 27, 28 footer. Nailed that for eagle. And then I had a long eagle look on 16, circle 2, a little bit of ripping wind on the elevated basket, and elevated baskets, not my go-to. So I kind of just laid it up, took the birdie, and then 17, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's been my nemesis. Last year, I think I took a 7 or 8 on 17. So yesterday I was able to birdie it, super stoked with that, and I threw a good tee shot, put me in a good position, left the upshot a little bit short, and kind of laid up my putt looking at the water, because to give that putt a bid for me, I have to bring the water into play. And I knew I was playing well. Again, didn't know what place I was in, so I kind of just laid it up, and one guy was like, "Man, smart play," and then I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, whatever." And then 18, just went for it, and super stoked to get inside the circle. Don't hold me to it, but I think I might be the only 2 on 18 for the weekend. So
yeah, there was 0 for round 1.
Yeah, so super stoked to get that and kind of put the pressure on Paul. I have to assume that Paul knew that he had to birdie 18 coming into it, and not that easy of a hole. So I was at the putting green warming my putt up in case of a playoff, and had a couple Discmania boys just raise their hands and come running at me, and I was like, I guess I won. So yeah, just super crazy.
One of the fast. So you just took down this tournament. I imagine it's the biggest win of your disc golf career. What people may say is this was a 2-round tournament, right? So there's a conversation there, but not like other 2-round tournaments. You knew coming into this round it was the final round. Does the fact that it was 2 rounds change it at all in your mind?
That's a good question. I don't really think, like you said, like we knew beforehand that it was the final round. So I think everyone kind of just went to final round mode, Yeah.
No, that's fair. So you're on cloud 9 right now, right? You're probably going to spend a couple days in a championship haze, but what is next for Colton? The tour is kind of halted. What's the plan for the Hot Cocoa Tour?
We're going to head down to San Antonio, visit Kona's grandparents, pick up some Frisbees that we got shipped there. And then from my knowledge, Belton Open next weekend is still going. And it's an A-tier, couple hundred people. So as long as that doesn't get canceled, I think we're going to hang out and try and ride this wave a little bit. But if and when the season comes kind of to a screeching halt, I'm just going to go back and train and leave the off season where I left it, practicing every day, putting, sharpening up my skills. This is a level I know I can compete at. It's been a while, so it's very motivating to get this under my belt. Even if we do take a break, that's fine, because it'll motivate me to stay practicing and stay hungry. So regardless of what happens, I plan on still playing disc golf, practicing hard, and whenever tour starts back up, I hope to find myself right there at the top.
Yep. No, I can't wait to see it, man. I think we'll probably catch back up on that West Coast swing, so I'm definitely going to be looking forward to you to be at the top of those podiums as well. I want to get you out of here, though, with a chance to say anything you'd like to the fans. Anybody out there that was pulling for Mr. Colton Montgomery out there?
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to all of my fans out there. You know, part of the reason I had to put my phone on airplane mode today was I was getting so many encouraging messages through Instagram, Facebook, text message. So first of all, just want to say a huge thank you to anyone who's given me support. I got to give a big shout out to my mom, my dad, my brother. Without their support, I wouldn't be here. You know, shout out to my brother for getting me involved in the sport at a younger age and pushing me to be the best disc golfer that I can. Huge shout out to my touring partner and girlfriend Kona for keeping me level-headed, keeping me motivated. And last but not least, I'd love to thank Discmania and Grip Equipment, because without them, this is all a dream, and I wouldn't be doing this without them. So huge shout out to them.
Yeah, man, well said, and a well-played weekend. Really, congrats again. Can't wait to catch up with you when we meet again on the West Coast. Guys, that is all I've got for this interview. If you'd like coverage of all things disc golf, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey guys, thanks for checking out that interview, and thanks again for hanging out a little bit afterwards so I can shout out OTB. Only the best discs. They are fantastic at what they do. They list the flatness and firmness of every disc in stock, as well as $3.95 flat rate shipping on any orders under $75. Man, it's a fantastic deal.